You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Supreme Court puts final nail in coffin of Trump's long-shot demand based on an article by Matthew Rosser. Trump lost on birthright citizenship. The real story is who tried to delete it. The power was never ambiguous. This was not a mystery, and it was not a misunderstanding. Donald Trump tried to end birthright citizenship by executive order. The Supreme Court's majority stopped him. That is the basic power map. A president attempted a constitutional override. The court's majority refused to bless it. The reporting's useful detail is the missed rehearing deadline, but the deadline is procedural. The substance is political. Trump did not merely argue for a tighter immigration policy. He tried to strip citizenship protections from people born in the United States. Trump said the quiet part loud. Trump's own language makes the intent impossible to sanitize. He called the ruling a miscarriage of justice, vowed to seek rehearing immediately, and later suggested Congress could simply legislate birthright citizenship away. That last claim is not just wrong in the casual sense. It is a tell. He is treating citizenship as something the governing class can revise by convenience, as if the 14th Amendment were a draft memo instead of constitutional law. The source notes the AP's point plainly. Undoing this would require a constitutional amendment. The court drew the line, barely. The majority did what the Constitution required, but the split matters. Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, and Samuel Alito dissented, which is another way of saying 3 justices were willing to erase a century and a half of citizenship rights. Kavanaugh's partial dissent is its own kind of evasive damage. He said Trump's order did not violate the Constitution, only a federal statute. That is not neutral legal refinement. It is a familiar conservative maneuver. Accept the authoritarian objective, then argue over the casing. If the constitutional attack is recast as a mere statutory issue, the same anti-citizenship project survives with cleaner language and less embarrassment. The misdirection is the point. The weak framing here is the idea that Trump simply lost a decision and then missed a deadline. That description lowers the temperature on a deliberate assault. It makes the episode sound like administrative frustration instead of an attempted demolition of a constitutional guarantee. The real issue is not whether Trump moved fast enough on rehearing. It is that he tried to use executive power to redefine citizenship itself, and that members of the court's right flank were prepared to help normalize the effort. What this reveals: birthright citizenship is not under attack because of confusion. It is under attack because authoritarian politics needs a smaller public, one with fewer rights and more fear. Citizenship is the target because citizenship is power, access, belonging, legal standing, and the ability to resist arbitrary rule. The larger pattern is clear. Trump pushes the boundary, the right-wing legal apparatus tests the boundary, and the press is invited to describe the whole thing as procedural drama. It is not procedural. It is an attempted downgrade of democratic membership. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to AltaNet for today's article, with the automated voice of Bryce. Thanks for listening.